It's Wednesday, the 24th of May, 2023. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's jump into it. Story number 1's a really interesting one. Australia's most innovative companies are outperforming on the share market. Really, they're led by tech leader WiseTech Global, but it also includes biotech companies and lithium players.
Over the past 12 months or so, 8 of the top 10 performers in terms of share price have been innovative, mostly smaller companies that have had breakthroughs in either customers or technology. I say mostly because one isn't that small. That's WiseTech Global. The tracking company's share price hit a record high yesterday. It's up 73% over the past year, about 100% over the past 11 months. Now, it's the outlier because the other stocks are smaller and have had breakthrough years. In the tech sector, Technology One has created a software as a solution product. SaaS, you probably know the acronym, basically means that you can pretty much run your business via an app anywhere in the world rather than relying on computers in the office. That share price of Technology One is up 50% over the past year, including a 3% jump yesterday. Imaging group Pro Medicus, it's developed a technology currently used by radiologists that streams images rather than using films. Potentially, it can be used by other medical practitioners. Another great technology breakthrough. Its share price is up more than 40% over the past year.
Yeah, some great examples. What about outside tech stocks?
So pleased you asked. Biotech Neuron Pharmaceuticals is the best performer over the past year, up around 300%. Now, earlier this year, the US regulator, the Food and Drug Administration, approved its drug for the treatment of neurological disorder Rett syndrome in early childhood. Next best over the year is Telix Pharmaceuticals. It focuses on the treatment of cancer and rare diseases. It's reported very strong sales in the US. It's rolling out its technology in Europe and Asia Pacific. Its share price is up 170%. Then there's the lithium plays. Liontown is the standout there. That's the company that did a deal with Tesla to supply feedstock for a new lithium hydroxide plant in Texas. Its share price is up more than 110%. The common factor in all this, Michael, really is ingenuity. It's just great to see Australian companies leading the way in innovation.
What a feel-good story that one is, Sean.
A bit Ted Lasso-ish, that one.
Yes, it is. Well played. On to story number 2 now. And Qantas expects to record an underlying pre-tax profit of up to $2.5 billion in the current financial year. Now, that's almost $1 billion higher than its previous best result back in 2018.
The national carrier will also spend another $100 million buying back its own shares on top of the already announced $500 million share buyback. Yesterday, the airline said flying activity was increasing steadily. It will be at 93% of pre-COVID levels by the end of this year. Forward bookings continue to indicate strong travel demand. There are a few things going right for Qantas after a pretty tough few years. Chief Executive Alan Joyce said fuel prices are normalising. That'll put downward pressure on airfares. People are flying again and they are prepared to pay the price for that. More good news. The bad news, which came from Joyce, he warned that there's a mismatch between demand and supply, especially on international routes. That means we ain't going back to pre-COVID prices, not yet anyway.
Now, a pretty serious story for number 3 here, Sean. Australia's casual workers are getting paid significantly less than their permanent counterparts, with the hourly pay gap reaching an all-time high, according to new research.
The study conducted by the Australian Council of Trade Unions found casuals generally earn $11.59 less per hour than permanent workers, or an hourly rate of just under $29 versus more than $40. That's a pay gap of 28%. The pay differential is the highest on record, according to AAP. Employees with the same school level or occupation have a smaller pay gap of about 11%. The union noted the gap exists despite casuals receiving a pay loading of up to 25%, and it calls for the Albanese government to scrap Morrison-era changes to the law. 1 in 4 workers are casuals, and around 55% of the casual workforce are women, so it hits females disproportionately harder.
Okay, moving on to story number 4. Now, Sean, can you imagine what it would be like if Australians living overseas loved their Prime Minister as much as Indians living in this country? Modi mania is a real thing among the Indian community.
Oh, sure is. Those pictures from yesterday and last night are incredible. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived on Monday. He's met with Prime Minister Albanese. They talked about free trade, migration, closer ties on critical minerals, green technology, defence, and of course sport. The 2-day trip is his first visit to Australia since 2014, and last night he addressed a sold out rally of 20,000 members of the Indian community at Kudos Bank Arena in Western Sydney. He also held a roundtable with corporate chiefs, including one-on-ones with Gina Reinhardt and Andrew Forrest.
Okay, last one. Story number 5. Boeing's boss, Sean, has warned that new climate-friendly biofuels will never achieve the price of jet fuel, really pouring cold water on a central pillar of the aviation sector's strategy to slash emissions.
Airlines say sustainable aviation fuels, SAFs, made from food waste such as cooking oil and plants can bring rapid decarbonisation by replacing the kerosene-type fuels, like Jet A, that's one type, used in aircraft today. But SAF currently accounts for less than 1% of global aviation consumption and trades for at least twice the price of traditional jet fuel. Boeing Chief Executive Dave Calhoun said he didn't think SAF would ever achieve the price of Jet A.
All right, that's it. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Wednesday, the 24th of May, 2023. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. If 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. And as well, today's Wednesday, which means there's a new episode of How Do They Afford That? This week, we are looking at HEX debts and basically why the indexation of those loans has really, really hit people hard and what you can do about it. The Amazon Echo smart speaker range comes with Alexa built in. Simply say, Alexa, play the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed podcast to catch the latest episode. You can get yours now at amazon.com.au. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.